right now on 5 on your side at 10.
The heat is broken. The evening storms south of St. Louis are weakening, and the pattern is changing, bringing us big adjustments this week.
Vote to strike. Tonight, thousands of local Boeing workers could be just days away from moving from the assembly line to the picket line. Our top story, professional football coming back to town.
We can never have too much sports in St. Louis.
The official announcement made just hours ago, but is the new game plan the same recipe for success? Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Just hours ago, we learned the XFL is returning to St. Louis, but tonight, the league is being vague about the resurrection of the Battlehawks name. We have live team coverage tonight of professional football returning to St. Louis. Let's start with sports director Frank Cusimano with more on the big announcement. Frank?
Well, Mike, we don't need any confirmation, but we got some tonight. We can be a great football city. The XFL agrees we are one of 8 cities to get a franchise along with Houston, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, Orlando, San Antonio, and Arlington. The Dome people gave the XFL the dates that were available a long time ago. The season starts February 18th. The average attendance was 28,500 for the 2 Battlehawk games. It was tops in the league. Anthony Beck, who played 11 years in the NFL as a tight end, including one with the St. Louis Rams, will be the head coach. No official word on the name yet, but how could you not choose the Battlehawks? We have the logo and that illustrious history. You can buy tickets tonight on the XFL website.
Frank, thanks. St. Louis football fans are excited to have professional football coming back to the city. Our Pepper Baker continues our team coverage live outside the Dome with what some of them had to say about tonight's announcement.
Well, Mike, you and Frank know better than I do that St. Louisans are ready to see the Dome come back to life with XFL football games. Actually, the dates are already set for their return this next spring, and I spoke to a few people who followed the season before the pandemic hit about what's to come in 2023.
You know, St. Louis, STL.
12-year NFL veteran Anthony Beck.
Let's freaking go! St. Louis!
Debuted as St. Louis's new XFL coach during the league's town hall announcement Sunday night.
I love it.
And so do a couple of St. Louis football fans eating at Lester's in Ladue.
I used to work for the Rams, and I was very disappointed when they left.
Without a pro football team already in the Dome, having something else to fill that gap is welcome.
And I'm glad that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in charge because everything he does, chef's kiss. I love The Rock, and I think he's going to make it better.
Morning host of 101 ESPN, Randy Carricker, is curious about how the XFL's new leadership with Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia, and Redbird Capital Partners will play out.
There was a huge buzz in town when it started, and it's a real shame that we lost it when we did because of COVID, because their next game they were going to draw 40,000 people, and I don't know if they'll be able to do that again.
He believes the fallout of the Rams, along with the Battlehawks' players' involvement with St. Louis, contributed to much of the XFL's success.
They were getting players to high school games and out to community events, and my understanding is that now the teams are going to practice in Dallas and then just fly in for games on weekends.
He's still optimistic that the games will be well attended. Now, whether we'll be cheering for the Battlehawks or a different team name remains in question.
And because of the previous success that the XFL had, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does own the name, I would be stunned if it wasn't the Battlehawks again.
Caw-caw. I'm going to just keep saying caw-caw. Caw-caw.
Now, before the league folded in 2020, the St. Louis had the highest attendance totals in the XFL. The Dome was actually about to open up their upper level seating before they had to quit because of the pandemic. But we'll definitely just have to keep an eye to see if that turnout will be the same this time around. Live in downtown, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
And stay with 5 on your side for the latest on the XFL's return to St. Louis. We'll bring you the latest developments on air on KSTK.com and on the 5 on your side app. Scattered storms moving through the area right now are bringing much needed relief from the extreme heat. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking our chances of storms for the next several days. Scott?
You know, we finally broke that heat wave this afternoon, and now we have the showers and the thunderstorms that are moving south and southeast of St. Louis and away from the metro area. We look down in Arnold right now, 82 degrees in Arnold. For many of us, we're seeing temperatures about where we started this morning or even a little cooler now that that front has sagged through. Look at all the lightning off to our south and southeast. Those storms in southeast Missouri are dying. The storms across eastern portions of Illinois still strong, still a little noisy east of Mount Vernon, but not much in the way of really intense weather going on. You see a little shower action there in Jefferson County. Expect it to pick up just to the south and southwest of St. Louis through the overnight hours into early tomorrow. That's going to be the focus now as we go through the overnight hours. We'll have much more tolerable temperatures for the week ahead. We'll get these clusters of showers and thunderstorms mainly during the overnight hours and in through the early morning that lasts until about mid-morning. And the severe weather chances certainly unlikely over the next few days. By the way, today's high in St. Louis, 103 degrees. Seventh day we've been above 100. Record high though back in 1934, 111. So we were nowhere close to that, Mike.
Scott, we'll see you in a bit. Tonight, the NTSB is taking over the investigation into yesterday's deadly plane crash in Centralia. The small plane crashed into a backyard pool on Wood Lane yesterday afternoon. A passenger on board the plane died. The pilot was taken to the hospital with injuries. Tonight, a family is remembering an East Alton man who collapsed and died while trying to stop two dogs from attacking his dog. Dale Jones's dog, Isis, was seriously injured. Neighbors say the 64-year-old was out walking his dogs yesterday morning when the other two animals ran up and began to attack. Police say the dogs were able to pull away from the owner's leash. Jones's daughter says the dogs have been a nuisance for neighbors.
They were scared to come outside because of these dogs, and apparently that message was ignored, and then that resulted in this incident. I think it could have been avoided.
Jones's family say they can't afford his funeral and the dog's medical treatment. For more information on how you can help, look for this story at KSDK.com. Tonight, thousands of union workers at local Boeing plants could be 1 week away from going on strike. The Machinists and Aerospace Workers Union rejected the defense company's contract offer, setting up a strike for next Monday. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, has the latest developments. Mark?
Mike, good evening. 2,500 workers will punch the clock at Boeing tomorrow morning without a contract. That's the first time they've done that in 8 years. Boeing did make them an offer, but this morning the union met and voted it down.
It was actually pretty rowdy.
Bryce Kelly is the plant chairman at the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers District 837, where union members voted Sunday morning.
We had a lot of cheers, a lot of commotion.
If Boeing doesn't improve its offer before next Monday, those workers say they'll go on strike and walk off the job.
If it wasn't for the workforce, nothing would get produced.
In a statement, Boeing responded it is disappointed and described its offer as strong and highly competitive.
Inflation is skyrocketing as we speak.
The labor union says the contract offer doesn't keep up with the higher cost of living. They want general wage increases restored, a faster path for members to earn more, and for Boeing to kick in for every worker's 401k, whether that worker can afford to contribute to it or not.
We're trying to get something that would help counteract that inflation cost to our members, so we stop losing our take-home pay every week, so we can invest in retirements and stuff like that.
With 1 week to go before the picket line goes up, a spokesperson for Boeing says we are activating our contingency plan to support continuity of operations in the event of a strike.
And that's just a laughable statement.
The union says it will call Boeing's bluff. Kelly doubts the company can find qualified workers with the college and technical training required to build some of the fastest fighter jets in the world.
No one would be able to just walk in and be able to build these aircrafts.
The union does set aside some strike pay to help supplement the workers' wages when they go on strike, but it's much lower than what they would normally make on the job. The union telling us today that's the price they're willing to pay in the short run to make sure they can guarantee their higher wages long term.
Mark, thanks. A Metro East business reopened for the first time today since its owner died while vacationing in Jamaica. My Just Desserts was open today for carry-out and for the community to pay respects. Yvonne Campbell died from her injuries suffered in a tour bus crash earlier this month. Her daughter was among the loved ones on vacation with her.
To go to Jamaica and have to leave with my mom, without my mom, has been heartbreaking. She equipped me with everything that I needed in this life, and I'll be sure that my brother and sister get the same.
The family plans to reopen the store soon. They're working with another business in Alton to make T-shirts with their mother's famous saying on it, "Order dessert first." He's an inspiring all-star, and he's only 10 years old.
He's a 10 out of 10. I mean, the kid he's an amazing athlete.
How surgeries here in St. Louis have helped him excel on the diamond. Going to the courthouse for a divorce, but are some Missourians banned from dissolving their marriage? We verify.
The big pattern changes lead to some of us seeing decent rain this week, but not everybody gets it all at the same time. We're breaking down this pattern and what it means for your week ahead.
A young boy from Joplin, Missouri came to St. Louis recently to meet with a person who inspires him. But as you're about to learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, for those with physical challenges, this young boy is about as inspiring as it gets. Every time you come to Busch Stadium, you could be seeing a player for the ages. But on this day, the most impressive player might only be age 10.
He's a 10 out of 10. I mean, the kid he's an amazing athlete.
Elijah Schultz is here today seeking autographs.
Oh, that's Freddie Freeman.
But his signature is determination. Eli was born in Ghana, Africa, and adopted by the Schultz family when he was 13 months old. And he had special needs.
He had amniotic banding, and so whenever he was born, he had a natural amputation below his left knee. And then he also had webbed fingers, missing fingers, and then webbed foot on the right side.
It's been a long road of surgeries and rehabilitation as the family made many 300-mile trips from their home in Joplin, Missouri to St. Louis.
Our goal is to provide as much function and appearance, but as much function as we can.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Charles Goldfarb of Washington University and St. Louis Children's Hospital basically reconstructed Eli's hands.
Essentially, these three fingers were webbed at about this level, and he was having pain at the tips, so we came up with a plan to separate the fingers and remove a little bone actually from one of the fingers to give him more space.
But those procedures only pushed Eli's pause button.
The hard part is that you have to go through physical therapy to regain what you lost.
The one thing that Dr. Goldfarb couldn't see on his x-rays is that Eli had competition in his bones.
He was eating dinner too fast, and my wife said, "Slow down, this isn't a race." And as a 3-year-old, he looks at her and he says, "Mom, everything is a race."
When he started playing baseball, some opposing coaches made the mistake of confusing disability with inability.
Yes, sir! You could tell the way he's walking up there, you're like, oh, well, this is going to be, maybe probably an easy out. Well, then he hits it out of the park.
This past baseball season, he led his team in home runs, RBIs,
There it is.
and was picked to play at an all-star game in Kansas City. And he's okay when other kids ask questions.
Sometimes people say, "What happened to your leg?" And I'm just like, "Oh, no big deal. I was born like that."
Back at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals heard his story and helped arrange a meeting with his hero, Dodgers outfielder Mookie Betts.
Where you want me to sign it?
Can you sign it right there?
Okay, gotcha.
I like him because he can throw the ball really far and he can hit really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mookie's likeness is even painted on Eli's prosthetic leg, and that now includes an autograph. But Dad says when it comes to heroes, Eli is his.
Thank you.
He's absolutely an inspiration for me.
Fewer and fewer people now notice the missing leg or missing fingers.
Oh, you got Mookie? Is he signed that? Yeah. Okay.
What they do see is a lot of heart.
I hope it makes people not look at individuals and judge them based just on face value or what they see. I hope it changes the conversation.
There it is! Nice hit, buddy!
Eli Schultz, showing us all in extraordinary circumstances, you can often find extraordinary people.
Everyone with disabilities can still do what regular people can do.
Eli will be in Kansas City this coming weekend for that all-star baseball game. Then this fall, he'll be playing football again. His position? Quarterback. A reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. Today, Missouri State Parks commemorated the 125th anniversary of a little-known story. It was on this date in 1897 Then an all-black Army regiment known as the Buffalo Soldiers arrived in Forest Park. They traveled almost 2,000 miles from Montana on one-speed bicycles. The grueling ride was all part of an experiment on military use of bikes. Tonight, a dog found inside a burning vacant building is safe. The animal was discovered by St. Louis firefighters when they were called to battle a fire on North Florissant in North St. Louis today. One firefighter was taken to the hospital and is being treated for heat exhaustion. And the heat's been on in St. Louis, and now Scott says we're going to get some relief.
You know, a little bit of relief out there. You can feel it this evening, although it's still muggy, but we're back into the lower 80s. In fact, down to 82 right now, which is where we started the morning in St. Louis. Not that many delays out at Lambert tonight. Things are rolling along because we haven't had the rough weather here. Most of the delays for the airports farther east. Now, it was a stormy evening, and the skies have really been lit up with lightning east and south of St. Louis for sure. The storms, though, over southeast Missouri have been fading. You still have some storms here east of Mount Vernon and east of Salem. This is the area, though, that really took the brunt of the storms over here across parts of Marion County in Illinois. We did get some reports of some hail and wind damage. Otherwise, you got a couple of little showers here drifting from Festus, heading back towards Cedar Hill and working towards the southeast. There's more stretching back north of Rolla. This is the area we're really watching as you see that band of cloud cover stretching back to Kansas City all the way along Interstate 70 through Kansas. This will be the focus for shower and thunderstorm development as we head through the nighttime hours. This is behind the front, which is now south and east of St. Louis. That was the focus for the more intense thunderstorms earlier this afternoon. We're now back down to 82 after our high today of 103 degrees. The average is 90. No rain in St. Louis. Do think tonight the better chances, as you'll see in just a moment, will be southwest of town. See temperatures dropping into the low 70s there, 60s northeast of St. Louis. And we don't warm up all that much overnight, or should I say into tomorrow, because of this cloud cover. So these showers, rumbles of thunder, expect to see that southwest of St. Louis. The area in general will fade away as we head through the day tomorrow. So expect a mostly cloudy sky, and the majority of the rain from this overnight tonight into tomorrow morning stays southwest of St. Louis. Much of the day around the metro tomorrow is on the dry side, but a lot of clouds. And then tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning, we get another complex sliding in from the northwest, and there should be some heavier rainfall with that. You're going to see that pattern repeat itself again for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning into Thursday morning, and a lot of us get 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall before all is said and done out of this week. At least a ½ inch just about everywhere. Some spots may get 3 or 4 inches. We do dry out and have some dry time Friday into Saturday, but you don't see triple-digit heat in the forecast for the next several days. So at least we're going to end the month of July with at or below average temperatures. I think we can handle that, Mike.
Yeah, a little bit of a break. All right, Scott, thanks. Family law in the Show Me State. We verify a viral claim that says not all Missourians can get a divorce. Tonight, Pope Francis is in Canada, but this is not a typical papal visit of parades and celebrations. The pontiff is offering apologies for abuses against Native North Americans committed at schools run by the church decades ago. This is the country's first papal visit in 20 years. It's a claim about the Show Me State you've likely seen on social media. It says pregnant women in Missouri cannot get a divorce, and it's stirring up debate. Our Verify team looked into whether the claim is true. Here's Edion Detil.
One of the most overlooked results of the abortion ruling is that pregnant women can't get a divorce in some states. That tweet and others like it started popping up on social media as Missouri's near-total ban on abortions took effect on June 24th, the same day the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Those tweets call out a Missouri state law specifically, claiming that if a woman wants to get a divorce, the state won't allow it. But is that true? Let's verify. Can a pregnant person get a divorce finalized in Missouri? Our sources are Missouri Law, Chapter 452.310, a spokesperson for the Missouri court system, and Dan Mizell, partner at Deputy and Mizell, LLC. Under Missouri law, when a person files a petition for divorce in the state, they're their paperwork needs to include certain information, like the date of separation, the custody and child support arrangements for any existing children, and whether the wife is pregnant. That's the part people are focused on, so we tracked down where it came from, and it's been around for nearly 50 years. According to a spokesperson for the Missouri court system, it's true that in Missouri, if a person is pregnant, a divorce cannot be finalized until after the baby is born, so that the court can establish maternity, visitation, and support for that child. But they confirmed that there are no restrictions which prevent a pregnant person filing for divorce or separating from a spouse. Missouri family law expert Dan Mizell adds that spouses can still file for a divorce and begin handling certain aspects of the divorce process, like the division of assets and debts, but confirms that the divorce cannot be finalized until after the baby is born. So we can verify, no, you cannot get a divorce finalized while pregnant in Missouri. Arizona, Arkansas, and Texas all have similar state laws in place. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
What would you like for us to verify? Send us an email to verify@ksdk.com. Starbucks offers coffee to go, but soon the coffee chain may not be the place for people who have to go. You can get your favorite drink at Starbucks, but soon you might not be able to use the coffee chain's restroom. Company officials say they're considering closing its public restrooms because of safety concerns. The U.S. averages only 8 public restrooms for every 100,000 people. That's on the same level as some third world countries. A nearly $800 million cash prize is up for grabs this week. The Mega Millions jackpot for Tuesday night has grown to the 4th largest lottery prize ever. Tickets are $2, and Missouri sales end at 8:59 p.m. Tuesday. In Illinois, you have until 9:45 p.m. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. Start your day with Today in St. Louis, beginning at 4 a.m. And now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.